Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I can have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that.
Let's go. Welcome to the PT Legends podcast, guys. This is my first solo episode since we started PT Legends 4 years ago. All of you know at this point, the amazing Scott Carpenter. I have been, I'm not going to say stuck under a rock since the inception. I think the word is inception of PT Legends, but for the last 4 years, I have been in charge of fulfillment. So at this point in time, I believe we have taken, with our mastermind and our high ticket launch program, it's a hardcore sales program to where we really teach gym owners on how to sell from their soul, how to look at, especially the high ticket sales process, how to look at it in terms of coaching. I like to say coaching, not closing. So at this point in time, we've taken 30 cohorts through our program. I have worked with gym owners from New Zealand to Mississippi, Canada, Australia. Throw a dart at the map. I'll probably work with the gym owner. And this is my first solo podcast, so I am pumped up. I'm excited, and I want to get right into it. Today, what I want to talk about it's really the starting point for PT Legends, my story in PT Legends, and it happened in late 2019. One of my probably the most talented trainer that I've ever met in my entire life, he started having substance abuse issues. I had to fire him, and I had to jump back into the club and take on about 20 to 25 hours of training. So if you are a gym owner out there and you've had to fire or let go, or maybe your top trainer quit, you have lived that life. So very quickly, my training hours went from 10 to 15 back up to that 30 to 35, on some weeks 40. And the majority of the training that we did was in a one-on-one training environment. So at that point in time, I had been a gym owner for, I guess, 6 years. And I had this burning in my belly is maybe the best way to say it. I always had this burning in my belly. Like there had to be something bigger than just a guy who owned a gym and counted people's reps and helped them track their macronutrients. There was nothing wrong with the gym that I ran in Glendale, Arizona. In fact, I would say if you would probably look at our revenue and profit numbers, it was in the top 0.1%, but I just knew there was something bigger out there for me. So me jumping back into one-on-one training, 30, 40 to 50 hours a week, I had a light bulb moment. I knew that something drastically had to change. So if you rewind the clock to 2011, my dad was in a bad car accident in 2008. So I took care of the family farm for a couple of years, and we rewatched Jerry Maguire. And it was in that transitional phase where I was getting ready to move to Arizona to start my fitness career. My dad and we watched Jerry Maguire, and for if you guys have not watched Jerry Maguire, 10 out of 10. Just an amazing movie. It has Tom Cruise, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Tom Cruise has this light bulb moment. And his light bulb moment, he was this hotshot sports agent working with, hundreds and hundreds of clients. He had this moment where he's like, I just want to work with fewer clients and have better relationships. And that was maybe the seed was planted that day that the whole fitness industry, we have it wrong. Okay. The entire industry, it's all about what? It's about more clients, more leads, more supplements, more offers, more programs. It's not the answer. So that seed was planted that day. I knew that at some point in my life, the focus was going to be about working with fewer clients to have the relationship just like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise had in the movie Jared Maguire. So fast forward that clock, the seed was planted in 2011. 2019, me getting thrown into the fire, and my amazing wife was pregnant at that time. I knew something had to change. Fast forward to 2020 with a pandemic, I went all in. I started working with high ticket mentors and mindset coaches, and slowly but surely, we started putting together offers in our brick and mortar model that allowed us to work with fewer clients. And it freaking blew up. In August of 2020, we officially launched our 63-day high ticket transformational program, and I believe the first month sold 20 people into this $2,000 offer. It was kind of exactly what we had previously done for years. It was just packaged, it was offered as a solution rather than macronutrients plus training. So we built this mentorship aspect to it to where we really focused on building out a lifestyle for our clients outside of the gym. So old school 63-day transformation. Most of you guys, if you guys have been listeners, you've seen our 63-day a tracker Scott created way back in the day that we use it with Google Sheets, habit tracker, designed the habits, they check off boxes. The initial version of 63-day transformation, though, it was with a big whiteboard. So I had this big whiteboard and I had AM routines in the top left-hand corner, PM routines, strength training, daily movement, nutrition. And then from there, we would work with a client and we would build out what we kind of termed their perfect day. And like I said, it took off. We signed up, I don't know, we had like a 40 or $50,000 launch. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. And that was, at the end of the day, that was the starting point for PT Legends. So that's when Scott and I huddled up and he's like, "Can we teach this to other gym owners?" And I'm like, "I don't no clue." Like that was my goal was never to be a guru or a mentor. Didn't really want any part of it. Maybe maybe in a big way, that's why I've never really done a solo podcast. Like I don't really see myself as a guru or I've stepped into the shoes of being a mentor, but I don't know if I've ever really embraced that. And it was last week I was on my family farm. I had this moment where I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to step out of my shell and really share what PT Legends has done for my life and the gym owners that we've worked with, and how specifically if we can just have all gym owners buy into the concept of creating an offer that's specifically built for the client they were put on earth to serve, how everything in their life changes. So that's a little background information on me, guys. What I want to cover in this podcast is just high level overview of how can, and I'm going to start planting the seed right now with you guys. What would your life look like? How different would it look like if you had 10 clients who you are working with that paid you $14,000 a year? I want you to, the purpose of today's podcast is I want you guys to marinate on this. And then moving forward, any solo podcast that you guys hear from me, we're going to be speaking tactics, not theory based crap. We're going to be speaking tactics. So the exact tactics, the exact strategies that I've taught to gym owners around the world in regards to defining who they were put on earth to serve, building out that high ticket executive offer, how to sell the high ticket program, how to fulfill the high ticket program and where it doesn't demand, 50 hours a week of fulfillment, and then how to renew that high ticket program with a 6 to 12 month commitment after. That's the tactics, that's the strategies that we're going to be covering moving forward. Today, I just want you guys to hit the pause button and marinate on this for the next, maybe for the rest of this week. How different would your life look like? And I'm talking specifically to a gym owner who's been in the game for a while. They have a good foundation built. They probably have a 6-week offer on their menu, right? They probably have they have a ton of momentum. They probably have a good team. Okay. But like I had that burning in my belly in 2019. I know there's hundreds and hundreds of gym owners out there. They're doing the right things. They're crossing off the T's, they're dotting the I's, but they know there's that next level. Moving forward, Anytime that you guys hear me talk on this podcast, that's what we're going to be covering. The exact tactics, the exact strategies on how to bring in, how to recruit your 10 out of 10 dream clients, build an offer, sell that offer, fulfill the program, and renew them for a 6 to 12 month commitment to where you guys have your 10 Cuba Gooding Juniors. So that's the concept, guys. Anytime that you hear from me, that's what we're covering moving forward. Period. No offense or buts. So where's that starting point? Okay. So the starting point is today is like I said, I want you to think on the next week. It's just 10. I'm not asking you because guess what? Most marketing strategies out there, most gym mentorship companies, what are they focusing on? They're really focusing on one thing. How can we get you more leads? Okay. Period. It's not about less qualified leads. The entire industry, and this has happened since the 6 week program launched, I think we all know back in what, 2016. Everybody's been running the same ads since 2016. Every marketing agency out there, it's all about I can give you X number of leads. Okay. And a lot of the mentorship companies out there, they're saying that a $5.99 to $7.99 offer is a premium offer, and it's not, especially with the rising cost of the cost per lead and how darn difficult it is to get those leads to show up. I'm a gym owner myself. I see this. I'm working with gym owners across the world. There are so many things that have to go right when the focus is on bringing in more leads. Okay. I'm going to be bold here. It's broken. It's broken. Now, does it work? If I like to say, if you sell your soul to the nurture gods and say, okay, the lead that comes in that clicked on, I'm looking for 5 motivated individuals. I'm going to call them twice a day for the next 7 days. Then I'm going to nurture them for the next 23 days, calling them. Guys, it's the concept is absolutely draining. I like to say that the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to play the old way game, it's exhausting to maybe that's an understatement. It's to me, it's kind of like keto. I'm a big potato guy. I'm a carb guy. It's kind of like saying, Dave, if you do keto, will you see results? Heck yeah, you're going to see results. But is it the sustainable model for the future? Am I aligned with that? No. Most gym owners I work with, most good gym owners who want to become great, or maybe the great gym owners who want to take it to the next level, they understand that that model is exhausting and draining. And at the end of the day, it's just not sustainable for the long haul. It's not built for the long haul. Everything changes if you have those 10 clients. So that's the point of today's training, guys, is like I said, we're not going to get into the tactics and strategies today. I want to plant the seed right now. Ed Milet says that he's one of my favorite podcasters out there. You're one conversation away. Okay. And that's the freaking point that I'm trying to make today. You guys are all one conversation away on a monthly basis. Okay. So if you're listening to this, like as I'm recording it, it's October of 2024. Okay. The tactics and strategies, if you start implementing them and you have that one conversation in November, you have that one conversation in December. And guess what? The math says you don't even have to have this like point eight over the course of a calendar year, 12 months. The goal is to recruit that, let's just say 0.8 per month. And at the end of that calendar year, just imagine by the end of 2025, or if you're watching this in 2025, whatever that next 12-month period is, how different does your business look like? How different does your life look like if you're working with those 10 clients who you are meant to serve? Okay. So today's homework is really simple, guys. I want you to marinate on that. Point 0.8 conversations away. And then what we're going to do the next podcast that I'm in charge of, we're going to get into step number 1. And what is step number 1? Is it is defining who you were put on earth to serve. And guess what, guys? And I know, like, Dave, I own a gym. I help everybody out. Guess what? Like, we're going to take baby steps. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to burn down all your current offers right now and just market to this dream client. My goal is just start marketing, just start talking to that dream client. Are you going to bring in 50 of them overnight? Heck, no, you're not. But guess what? We're looking for 10 over the course of a year. So stage number 1 is going to be really defining who that dream client is. Okay. Then we'll talk about acquisition strategies. We'll talk about how to put out the organic content to bring that client in. The next week when we chat, though, what we're going to be talking about is how do you clearly define who that dream client is? So guys, I'm going to leave you with that parting shot today. I want you to marinate on it, and I want you to think a year from now, How different would your business, your life look like if you had 10 dream clients on your menu? And then from just a financial angle, just imagine that they're paying you, and I'm going to teach you step by step how they're paying you anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000 per year to work with you. 10 of those, let's just say the low end of 12, what would an extra $120,000 of revenue working with 10 clients, what would that do? Okay, I'll talk with you guys next week. And then next week, we're going to be diving into defining who are you put on earth, this earth.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.